Hey guys, how are ya? I hope you're doing well. And I'm just gonna say thank you for clicking onto this video. And I'm just gonna ask you to please subscribe. I got something to say, man. I'm gonna say something here. Woke culture. I've realized that black people are falling for this. We always do. You always fall for tricks. Woke culture is not everything. Since even before Jesus Christ there was a woke culture. Someone discovered fire, and I'm pretty sure other people thought it was dangerous. Those people who were woke, they realized the advantages we will have, and they worked on it. And through society, every time there's been change, it's because someone has awakened. You can say awaken is white people, woke is black people. And this is where the difference is. When they say woke culture does not mean LGTB, whatever community. Nah, that's not what it means. Why do we always fall for these tricks? Woke culture started in the black community. We don't say awakened, we say woke. And what did that mean? That meant knowing our history, because our history was denied to us in Africa and in the US. And that was very important. That was realizing that there was police brutality. That's woke culture. That's realizing that a lot of things we were unfairly treated in a lot of things. In Africa, since they divided Africa up and all those things, it's about knowing all these things. Woke is knowing that my culture, our culture, did not start with slavery. That's woke. Okay, being aware of the social injustices of today, the civil rights movement, that's woke. But what these people are doing, Sky News and Fox News and CNN, what they are trying to do is attach everything that's toxic in society today to woke. Remember, woke is the black version of awakened mind. So when you say woke, most people cannot even describe it. If I say what's woke culture, you just you silly. You see. Woke culture is not Black Lives Matter. That's not woke culture. Black Lives Matter is not even black. Most black people didn't want to participate in that crap. Most black people didn't want to take part in Black Lives Matter. I was one of them, because I could smell it. This is what happens when we want something, gets hijacked, and it makes a lot of, if you follow the money, who benefits from all these things. Okay? So that's not woke. So why are woke, let me just, in inverted comma, movies flopping? Recently there's been a movie about Cleopatra. Okay? Let me tell you something, guys. Especially black people, we gotta be aware of this. Personally, I don't think Cleopatra was black. I think that happened later. Nefertiti was black. Don't believe that bust you see in the set. That's a fake. Even white people who are fake experts, who've even sold fake Egyptian items to museums, they'll tell you that's a fake one. The real statue you can look of Nefertiti is look at the body. And it's going to tell you what race she belongs to. You look at Akhenaten, these people were black. I don't believe Cleopatra was black. But one thing I like about the movie is the way it's set up. There's black people in there. The reason why it's flopping, it's because these things are causing cognitive dissonance. And let me tell you something. If you look at movies like The Butler or 12 Years a Slave, what do they tell you? They tell you something that people already know and understand. The Butler, it fits in the narrative. Okay? So when you say about Woman King, and I think Netflix is working on Mansa Musa, most of these movies are going to flop because people are suffering from cognitive dissonance. It's like this. When white people were going to Africa, I think Neil deGrasse, and I'm going to make a video about what Neil said, because they thought they were the top of the cream. So every time they went to other places and they found civilizations that looked a lot better than them and that looked like they were way older than their civilization, they gave that to aliens. If you look at what goes in Egypt, I'll tell you, Pharaoh, Ramses I, there's a statue of him black. You don't see that often. There'll be some scribe that showed up in the Delta region, which was which had an inflow of foreigners because Egypt was doing so well. I'm going to make some videos about Egypt and why this place is so important, not just to black people, but why white people want to connect themselves to Egypt. Yes, they used to go there, like Middle Eastern people and some white people who had invaded Libya used to go there. And some people here became part of society and all those things. But if you look at, there's a timeline of everything that has been built. You're going to realize majority of things, not everything, but majority of things were done by the earlier pharaohs. Majority of them were black, not all of them. As black people, we accept that. The beginners were black, then Egypt got invaded by multiple people, and every time there was an invasion, there was nothing real that happened during that, when you look at this timeline. But what's happening, especially in Egypt, the Arabs are racist. And I'm going to do another one about BRICS. I'm going to do a video. This is why it's going to struggle to function. Because some people, some countries that wants to be part of this would just be like a double agents for the US. Countries like Egypt. Those guys ain't really, I know that Egypt is in Africa, but they're invaders. They've invaded that continent. Let's just be real. So the reason why these movies ain't doing so well, because people don't want to go and see something that doesn't sort of connect with how things have been presented. You are going to see a lot of people, when black people saw it, see the movie, most of them will say, oh yeah, it was actually quite nice. The thing is, it's got a good mix of everything compared to the gods of Egypt, which was just majority white people. And that's a lie. That's a bigger lie, because when you realize that Ra, Osiris, and all these people, even when you go to the Amun, the mountain where Amun is believed to have resided is in Sudan. And that tells you where this tradition came from. So when they put up a white guy in the gods of Egypt everywhere, they're lying. They're lying. But that's okay. That fits the narrative. No one was suing them. The Egyptians were happy and blah, blah, blah. Because actually, it's not, if you want to understand Egyptian culture, tell me, I'm going to ask you a question here. If you look at Arabic names, English names, Egyptian pharaoh's name, Tutankhamen, look up at this name, Sinesurut, Khufu. Look at these names and go around Africa, go around Middle East, and go around Europe. Tell me the continent that's going to have the closest names to these names. You're going to find them in Africa. I can guarantee you that. You can ask any linguistics. I can guarantee you that. Right now, the Ashanti king is Tutu, Osai Tutu. And these people, they will tell you they came from Egypt. They just landed in Ghana. They'll tell you that. The Ashanti people, they'll tell you that. The reason why these movies aren't doing so well, it's because it's causing cognitive dissonance in a lot of people. And also, you gotta remember, because I'm seeing a lot of black people falling for this trick again, for our own demise, which is just sad. We always fall for these tricks. When are we going to learn to stop and think? Okay? First of all, these movies aren't gonna be blockbusters. That's true. The population of the US is about 10%. So some of it ain't gonna be blockbusters. I feel sorry for black actors because they think they should get paid more money, but your audience is not as big as white. Unless your movie does the same amount of money, then you can ask for more money. But the thing is, as black people, we need to support these movies. We can't go, you become like Candace Owens, who wants us to go back to the 1960s, where it's like, when there was a black person in a movie, I knew they deserved it. These days, I just think they are meeting the numbers. Okay, there's some truth to that, but at the same time, back in the day, how many black people were actually actors who were like who had starring roles in a movie? Very few. Most of them died. They were like the first to die. Everyone knew this, So is that what we want? No. We want an inclusive society. That's what we want. Anywhere in the world, we want everyone to be represented. We want movies that come out that have white actors in them. We want movies that come out that have black actors in them. And this is why Netflix is a leader, in movies. Because I think they're catering for everybody, Because the next thing is a lot of Indians moving into America. They have Indian movies on Netflix. You know, so all the other channels that gonna restrict themselves to just a white audience, they're gonna struggle. Netflix is gonna be doing good numbers. You know, I'm even thinking I might put some money in it. I think I already do through one of my ETFs. You know, but the reality is, guys, we need to be careful. You know, look at the Woman King. A lot of black people are talking about, and they took it the wrong way and all that stuff. That actually existed. Only those women, where they were not called Amazonians, they were called Aminos. It's a true story. It's a true story. If you go to Benin right now, there's a statue of the Woman King herself in Cotonou, which is the capital city of Benin. You can look it up on YouTube right now. You know, I'm not joking. I'm not lying. I'm telling you these things existed. The next thing we're going to do is Mansa Musa. The next thing we're going to do is the Benin Kingdom. All these movies, when they come out, they're going to cause cognitive dissonance in a lot of people. But what we need to do, we need to keep pushing. I'm not a big fan of Jada Pinkett Smith. I think she's messed up with Smith. But that story is for another day. However, I'm hearing Egypt has sued Jada Pinkett for portraying Cleopatra as half white, right? And the reason why, and I'm saying that deliberately, half white. So they want her to be 100% white. You know, and I don't care about Cleopatra, to be honest, but I like how the movie brought everything together. However, when it comes to black people, how many movies have been out where there was a black person and that black person was done by a white person? Have we ever sued somebody? And this is why, that's a lesson to learn, black people. We need to have gatekeepers. We need to stand up. But most importantly, we need to have money. That's the fuel of the current state of affairs. It's money. Forget about trying to live for the afterlife. Forget about that. Let's focus about money, wealth creation. So that way we can be able to protect what we have. We can be able to protect our history. We can be able to protect what's ours. If we don't do that, we'll always be doomed. There's more videos coming, guys. I got a lot more to say. Please support this channel. Please. I'm going to put I don't have a Cash App, but I'll try to put what's the thing? PayPal, if you want to support the channel, I really appreciate that. But please, it's not a must. You know, if you just feel like supporting it, that's good. But most importantly, I appreciate it if you subscribe. Let's grow the channel, and I got a lot more to say. Thank you, guys. Stay woke. Thank you. Goodbye.